ridiculous now.
Who are you giving a tombstone pile driver to later today? Like, who are you? You know, are you gonna put your hand across your neck and be like, "Rest in peace"? Like, what are you doing?
I should have worn
Geeta, are we getting audited right now?
That's what it feels like.
Where's my tie? I should put it back on.
To celebrate a decade plus hard work.
And here I am suggesting we mourn it with this outfit.
Yeah,
All right, I screwed up again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, it'll be the last time you're ever sorry.
Like, why didn't you ask us which suit you should wear?
Yeah, why didn't you ask us to do a fit check for you? He's turning red, people. He's turning red. You can't.
We've
you can't see
ruined
it.
the podcast again.
In stunning 4D, 4K, 4D, 5D dimensions.
When the soul of the city was laid to rest, and the nights forgotten and left for dead. I have been a house built of living light, where everything evil disappears and dies. When they love you and they will, tell them all they'll love in my shadow. And if they try to slow you down, tell them all to go to hell. When they love you and they will, tell them all they'll love in my shadow. And if they try to slow you down, tell them all to go to hell. I settled in slowly to this house that you call home, to blood and breath, fair flesh and flesh of our bodies in the heat of the night, all day to day after, red in the When they love you and they will, tell them all they'll love in my shadow. And if they try to slow you down, tell them all to go to hell. When they love you and they will, tell them all they'll love in my shadow. And if they try to slow you down, tell them all to go to hell.
Live on tape from the literal House of Greed. This is the final episode of Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast riddled with rampant speculation with some sources. My name is Ryan Chapp. I will be your host, not your undertaker or your pallbearer or your funeral leader. This is a nice suit I got tailored in Hoi An, Vietnam. Ever heard of it?
Oh, God.
Ever heard of it?
I love Ryan when he went.
Are
He's
you,
like,
gonna, are you gonna name drop your wedding again?
oh, my God. Top wedding. Top 15 weddings of the last 15 weddings I've been to.
Have you been to 15 weddings?
That's the joke. my favorite part is like Ryan just goes over and gets a new suit. He's like, can't believe how cheap everything is. I'm like, yes, Ryan, it is, because they make good quality things for a fantastic price. And if it wasn't for this woke government we have going on, we could get prices at a good standing to get suits. But
I want to give you props for your message to everyone, letting them know that we are ending the show. You also mentioned your wedding.
When did I do that?
In that message.
In the video?
You totally ended with your wedding photo. But in the message to everybody saying this is the end of Pucks on Net.
Some of us had to get married.
I can't wait to get married to Katie and no one's ever going to speak of it. It'll be one time, and if you attend, you attend, but everything else, it'll be like, you had to be there. It's like,
I hope it's one time, but like.
That's Arash, Prince Pomegranate.
That's me.
There's Geeta.
Hi.
You have a bit of a reveal going on right now.
I guess so. Misha's here. Misha on my lap.
Yeah, that's
This isn't her podcast debut at all.
no. I was referencing the other thing.
The grilled cheese sandwich I just had before the podcast.
I actually had grilled cheese sandwiches today too.
Me too. Wait, no, wait, really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did too.
Great minds.
Did you put mayonnaise on the outside?
Absolutely.
Look,
not.
I had been pushing us to, take this podcast for a couple more weeks. I'm like, wouldn't we just want to end it at the end of the season where it should naturally end? And then someone reminded me that
What are you doing on Friday?
Oh, what a time to be alive. Honestly, I don't know if we could have. Us pushing this like a few more weeks, it gives me the same vibes as like the time in that COVID season where the Canucks had to play against Calgary to finish up the regular season while the
Yeah.
playoffs were
Right.
actually happening. Who cares, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, that's exactly what it feels like. It's like us pushing it a couple more weeks is like the Canucks pushing it a few more games.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I
But,
could
like,
do it anymore.
It's kind of done, but we're not like mathematically done.
No, but
we're mathematically done. This is the
we are mathematically.
We've done the math.
Pucks on Net has been mathematically eliminated from the Vancouver podcast market. We'll see you May 7th for the podcast draft lottery.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going?
Me?
Top?
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting picked off waivers, man. I'm washed as shit.
Yeah.
I want to
Done.
go. I want to go to C4 something.
The
Yeah.
C4 podcast, are they now?
Did I get?
Yeah, wait,
that?
wait. Are they now the longest?
They always
They
were.
always were.
Oh. Fair enough. Ryan's out here just working like a DJ.
This is a horrible day.
Why?
I mean, sad
wow.
that the podcast is ending, but more importantly, I'm having some challenges with audio, and we're just trying to get by. We're just trying to get through.
Oh. It's also a sad day because there's a part of me that feels like we should be watching a Minnesota Wild game.
Honestly, I'm really happy because I've honestly really hated the both of you, and I've just been in it for the money.
It shows.
yeah. I don't know. I understand why you didn't finish acting school because
Oh.
you're not that good at it.
Oh wow, Jesus
I was like,
Christ!
no other podcast wants Arash because you've been shitting on him all year.
I've been shitting on everyone while Ryan throws strays at me, as we're 5 minutes away from my alma
I
mater.
feel like we did an excellent job of hiding the feud between us.
Honestly, I think we did too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We managed to get a good 5 years in.
yeah. That's great. I mean, I think we did it for the fans. We did it for the people.
Yeah. If you really wanted to keep something quiet, you can do it.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know.
Patrick Alvin.
Thanks. Yeah, no, you really can. I don't know if you notice, but Geeta and I actually aren't in the same room right now. We've digitally spliced it down the middle.
That's what the Patreon dollars
Yeah.
are going to.
This-
Hey,
I was going to say this is like an episode of The Good Wife.
The good doctor. The good lawyer. The good podcaster. Oh, I can't wait if there's an episode.
Is that what we call the next podcast? The Good Podcast?
it's like the Chicago series or the franchise. Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Podcast. You have
Yeah.
the Good
Oh, I
Wife.
like it.
Yeah.
Vancouver Podcast. I think just call it that.
I'd watch that.
Man. Yeah, wow. Just we're here, eh?
Mm-hmm.
More than a decade. 5 years I've been here. 42 years you guys have been doing this.
We've been here a long time.
And no, just
You were a great pickup during COVID.
I just listen.
We duped him. We duped him good.
I feel like
You had to bubble and isolate with us.
it's like Ryan literally went, and it's like Beret. He went and he found that I actually like played a few games in the Soviet League. So he's like, no, he's draftable. We could draft him.
I got a guy. He's down on his luck. He's down at the pizza shop. He's we can get him for cheap, and because you have
We got this cheap person of color coming in. I can get him off the heap. Thank you, Ryan. I love you. Even though you never paid for pizza. He would come in with his girlfriend during the summers. He would come in. He'd be like 5 beers. He'd slam on the wooden bar. He'd be like, hey, pronto, I need some cerveza, por favor. And then I'd be like, sir, you have to pay. He's like, you want to still play on this show?
He's like, I just did Quarry Rock.
I just do Corey Rock, and he destroys any fitness goals he has.
Hey, you watch your mouth. I'll find my way to honeys like that. You want this service? You want this money?
Pal, you think you're getting better service on honeys?
I'm gonna wait.
They're way too busy to be cordial with you. They're like, what do you want?
Get out.
Get out. Do you want a donut? Eat the donut. Get out right now.
Honey's is where you would get COVID.
Honest?
I don't know if that should come out of the podcast or not.
No, keep it in.
What are they gonna do?
Who gives a shit? This is the last episode. We should just like air our dirty laundry. Should air all of our dirty laundry.
If you for those that got charged Patreon dollars today or tomorrow, which will be the last time, thank you. That money will go towards paying the champion in the Pucks.net Fantasy Hockey League. Arash, is that you, or will you be going there?
It would be me if a
But-
certain someone didn't make an egregious trade in December, giving my opponent an all-star. God damn it. He's such... Okay, Jake, right?
Yeah, Jacob from Denver.
Jacob in Denver. Let me tell you something, Jacob. You created a wagon, my friend. You created a terrible... I've been in fantasy hockey long enough to see a wagon. This team is such an unholy wagon that only by the grace of God, that me going into the commissioner settings and editing your lines so you don't dress certain players, am I gonna win this matchup?
In Arash, you definitely shouldn't do that. You definitely shouldn't take my commissioner login, which is my email, and then my password is Kessler17 with a capital K. Don't go in there and thwart. I mean, don't do that.
Oh man, why did Jacob drop Andre Vasilevsky? That's crazy, dog.
He picked up Casey DeSmith.
Man, who?
Ryan also made me a terrible trade.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the trade?
I needed a goalie. I couldn't.
He needed a goalie.
Was that the Stuart Skinner trade?
It
Oh
was.
my God.
It was. Bennington was sitting right there.
Was he on waiver? Was he like a free agent, or did I?
No, remember one time you were like, Geeta, why do you have like 5 goalies?
'Cause
I'm
you're
like,
breaking the rule.
You keep letting me pick them up. I kept not having enough goalie games, so on Sunday I would just pick somebody up.
That's fair.
Kids, is my last piece of advice to you. In any fantasy hockey league you go into, you cannot get superstars off waivers, but you can get middle 6 or top 6-ish forwards off of
But
waivers.
imagine if it was real life, and here I am, the Edmonton Oilers, and someone's like, take Wyatt Johnson and Thomas Harley, and we'll take Stuart Skinner off your hands. I'm like, yeah, I would go at it without a goalie.
God
Take him.
Damn. Art of the deal, Geeta. Art of the deal. Well done.
And that's why I'm in 16th place this year. People that aren't in 16th place is our dear friend P-Mac on the street. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm good. I guess, are we in the show? We're already going? I can't see anyone else, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, based on the setup, you can only see me. Quick question. Do you hear any buzzing?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, let's assume that it's just the headphone. PMAC is joining us on the show. He'll probably be floating somewhere above or around us. A key part of this podcast history. Somebody that put in hours upon hours of hard work, determination, blood, sweat, and tears, and that was just you being in traffic on the Ironworkers Memorial Bridge.
Are you putting Paul on the Mount Rushmore of Pucks on Net?
Yes. There's 4 faces on Mount Rushmore.
Holy shit.
Dave,
I don't know. Oh, sorry,
P-Mac.
don't let me stop you.
Dave, P-Mac, Geeta, and Arash.
Ryan, you are Pucks on Net. Nobody else is
It's just
on the same level.
four faces of Ryan. on the ground.
P-Mac, I went through about 10,000 photos and old clips for our intro. It brought up a lot of memories. You did this show for seemingly 6.5 years. What comes to mind when you think about your time on this lovely little program?
Oh, I don't know if I should make a joke answer or answer seriously. I
Do
feel
both.
like serious answers get made fun of on Pucks on Net sometimes. Like if I seriously talk about how much better Matt Duchene is than Kyle Turris.
I mean, I think he is. He's still in the league.
I think I was right on that scouting report. I don't know. That's something I remember. Just my great scouting reports, Ryan. But
Now, what is over your shoulder behind you in your office there?
this is a Matt Duchene Colorado Avalanche jersey bought on extreme discount by Ryan with some of the money that donors sent in. And I thank you all for buying me this jersey that I did wear during the Avalanche Cup run a couple years ago.
Hell yeah. Donors don't have to contribute on Patreon anymore, but they can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/pucksonnet. We had some lovely contributors there. And instead of investing that money into the podcast, we will spend it frivolously on shiny things and things that we like.
As you should.
Now, Paulie, answer the question. Now answer, what was the joke version you were going to give us?
I didn't really prepare anything, right? You know, like I used
Nobody
to
did.
demand you give me notes before shows so I could prepare 3 pages of my own notes to respond to everything. So I was ready to fight Dave back on whatever came off the top of his head any given night. But yeah, honestly, it was just I guess the joke would be like, well, Ryan didn't really want me on the show. First episode, I did some kind of dumb hit that wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't.
And then I became a panelist somehow despite that.
If
and
Ryan didn't want you on the show, you wouldn't have been on the show.
Fair enough. He just didn't want me on the first few episodes. And then we had been working together long enough that he decided, oh, I guess this guy's okay.
Paul, when I think of favorite memories of the show involving yourself, there's a plethora. But my favorite one is you getting stopped going through a West Van roadblock.
Just a road check. Yeah. It was after a Canucks game. I was driving home after the game. It had to be like 11:30 at night. And the cop stops. Well, where have you been tonight? And I was working at the game. And oh, you work for some local media. Maybe I know who you are. I recognize your voice. And I go, I don't really talk much on broadcasts. It's I do the interviews. It's fine. And he goes, no, you're PMAC from Pucks on Net, aren't you? And this, I don't even think he was that much older than I was. He was probably like 40-ish. And I was just like, yeah, that's me. And he just sent me along, but I was an unexpected fan.
Next time I get pulled over, I'll be like, do you know who I am? And then I'm easily going to be thrown into jail for what is a routine traffic stop in my Kia Soul.
I mean, I hope you're like, do you know who I am? I'm the Prince of Pomegranate.
Do you know? Excuse me, officer, but who the fuck are you?
Highlight for me also going hiking up in Deep Cove with Geeta and getting pizza afterwards at some random restaurant down by the water. We didn't know anyone who worked there, but it was a fantastic
We didn't
joint
know
with great food
we were
and
having
very nice
pizza
service.
at Pomegranate
When-
on your patio.
When was this?
Probably summer of what?
2015, 16,
Yeah.
17.
Oh my god, I must have been such an asshole.
I swear, you looked familiar from the moment we actually met, and I think it was from that.
Well,
and
I
we
hope
kept going back. It was good.
I hope I was like nice and not like
were.
incredibly belligerent. You
You've
never
always been nice.
you never know what you're gonna get with me when it comes to that wrestling. I'll give you good food, but you never know. Jesus.
We just had pizza and beer. It was an amazing
Yeah.
spot to get pizza and beer.
And then I ran over to stop someone from parking in the handicap spot and just chastising them, being like, "Oh, a donut's more important than you following the district rules."
Dude, if I ever see anybody parking in a handicap spot, I become such a.
Oh my God! It awakens a demon in
There
me.
was some elevator service company that was parked at in the handicap spot at Starbucks. They were there for 90 seconds. I saw them arrive and leave.
Yeah.
Nobody was impacted, but I still took a photo and shamed them, and I
Okay.
texted the number on their van. I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of clowns
Okay.
are you employing?
I
here?
can't believe I've never said this story. It'll take 30 seconds. It is the most petty thing I've ever fucking done in my life. If you've been down to Deep Cove, you will know that adjacent, directly in front of our shop, is the one handicap spot in the Cove. I once saw someone in a Tesla,
Yeah.
just like with 4 groups of his guys, get out, go down to Honey's. And I'm like, oh, I'm not today. I'm like, I'm just not having this. No. If you also know, my partner has a disability, and I have a disability placard in my car. So what the fuck do? I go get in my car. I turn. Katie's not there. I turn I loop around. I then go 4-way signal
Yeah.
in the back. I then go down to Honey's. I'm like, hey, you. Are you parked? I'm like, are you parked in the disabled spot? I'm like, my partner needs that spot right now. And then they're like, oh, I'm like, guys, come on, seriously?
What are we doing
guys?
here?
Seriously? And they're like, we're sorry, we didn't know. I'm like, well, you should. There are
You
people
knew.
that are whatever. But this is the thing. They got in their car, they left. I parked for 15 seconds, and then I left to open up the spot. So, kids, being petty works. You just gotta be petty.
I absolutely love that.
That is the worst thing. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I did it anyway.
I don't know. You're a man of the people.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to look at.
Somebody needed that spot. Somebody needed it way more than those people needed donuts.
Someone has to look out for my hometown, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
your village or hamlet or
my
whatever.
hamlet or whatever,
Whatever you guys are going
whatever
by.
my local municipality decides to call it that week.
PMAC, you're not petty at all, and that's my segue to you.
Well,
I love
could I just be petty for what you're stopping at episode 449? That's like ending your NHL career at 995 points.
This is a real Mike Modano situation where we just didn't have one more left in us.
According to Libsyn, we've made 521 releases on the platform with post-game shows and Patreon trailers.
Summer episode.
I've also thought of lying and just calling this episode 450 or just like 500. Like
Honestly, you episode 5,000.
Yeah.
we did a lot. We got a lot of episodes.
We got
here.
a lot of episodes.
PMAC, what was your favorite? Do you have a favorite episode or a favorite memory from doing the show together?
I mean, the best memory is just sort of reconnecting with you and Geeta for the most part. I feel like
Oh.
Geeta and I had fallen out of touch a bit, even though we were like super tight through BCIT, and you and I, well, we had become friends since I moved back to Vancouver and we worked together. But yeah, no, it's just, I mean, the overall just opportunity to spend time with you two and other hosts that we had.
Yeah, Dave was nice. He had his moments. He would do his best to challenge you, and I wish I knew in the moment the 3 pages of notes and all of that that effort that went into those, and I would have maybe quelled those arguments a bit instead of thinking this is good material. Let's Let's pour some gas on PMAC here.
I pushed me in my anti-hot take stance. This is why I can't listen to sports talk radio, even if they have amazing producers behind the shows. I can't handle hot takes. I just
Paul.
want just the facts.
Just the facts, Jack. I appreciate that. That's
I listened, but Paul knows how to butter me up and get a pizza on the house. Let me tell you.
I wasn't even trying for that, but I am also I'm a Lynn Valley guy, close, just down the road. That's where I went to elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, I was a Ross Road Elementary kid.
What?
I had no idea.
How am I
No.
just learning about this now?
We all are.
We all are. He never talks about his Lynn Valley days.
Oh
He
my
played
God.
his North Van card so close to the vest.
Yeah, it's just like.
I grew up in the house that Connor Bedard, the same house Connor Bedard.
Is that his elementary
We didn't have any
school?
money. Connor Bedard Elementary, yes.
Connor Bedard
It's a new Ross Road was my elementary school. Like I started at Jesse Lee in Surrey, moved in kindergarten, was at Ross Road, and then
Okay.
moved back to Surrey just before high school.
They're
basically,
not
yeah.
naming any elementaries after Connor Bedard unless he gets himself out of Chicago.
I mean, it's a couple of years. It's not going to take that long. Aren't
He-
they trading Quinn Hughes for Connor Bedard next year?
I thought they were trading everybody else for Connor Bedard
I
next
thought we
year.
were just gonna wait for Connor Bedard to say I'm not signing here.
Matt
That would
Kachuk
probably
did
make
it.
more sense.
Yeah, if Matt
Yeah.
Kachuk can do it, then Connor Bedard can do it and demand to go to the most successful, prolific franchise in NHL history.
We need a second line center. He's got second line written all over him.
I mean, so you're running a first line center of obviously just due to the contract and everything, Pius Suter.
yeah,
Obviously.
obviously.
And then it's Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
And then Teddy Bluger on his 8-year extension.
Well, Pedersen's better as a winger anyway.
You don't like him on
Run
defense?
Pedersen on the flank. I do, but just give him that extra flexibility to use his offensive abilities.
Yes.
Oh, man. PMAC, I got a question here from Jacob from Denver. Favorite place to podcast not named the Palatial Estate or above the old haunted Burger King, where up until last week we recorded. What was your favorite place to record a podcast in?
I mean, the Christmas parties were
Yeah.
fun out at, geez, I can't even remember the name of the bar.
The
The
Den.
Den.
The Den. Yeah, that was fun. I guess the Shaw TV studios, when we'd take over the studios, and the Coliseum comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
We had some
When we
special
recorded
ones at the Coliseum.
when we did the Coliseum the first time, when we did the TV shoot, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun because that night on Fear the Walking Dead, I went home and the Pacific Coliseum was overrun with zombies right after we had shot that up. I don't know if that was the TV episode or maybe just one of the other ones we recorded there, but
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good
Yeah.
story there.
yeah.
That was the single most stressful 24 hours of my life, where we got there during the day, recorded the episode, worked we all worked the Giants game, and then I stayed up till about 4 or 5 in the morning editing and outputting it, and then it needed to go on the air at 9 p.m. the next day. And the only issue I had was I think I spelled Eric Lindros's name wrong.
How?
It said like Lindors or something.
Like the Lind, like the chocolate.
Yeah. And some folks picked up on that, and so that didn't go over too well.
Funny. I never caught it.
No. PMAC, I think we'll wrap up here. I absolutely love every contribution you made to the show, and I loved you finding your way back here, which I feel like our Rash definitely helped cornering you at Geeta's wedding. And
Oh, I was so drunk that night, and I just in my head I was like, "Yeah, wait a minute. I don't get why Paul. I don't know why he's not on the show. I'm not Dave. This is the shoot episode, so whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not Dave. I'm not a."
It wasn't I was out before you got there.
I
I was
know.
just I needed a break from a few things in life.
Let me,
and,
Paul. Let me just tell you,
yeah.
my one regret is that I was never on an episode of Pawn where it was like the 5 of us. because God I would have loved to just be a part of that dynamic once and be like, hey, Paul's actually right. I love Paul. Paul's really, really. This is a stupid hot take.
I could have used some help in those Donnybrooks where everybody was telling me how Matt Duchene's career was over, or Shea Weber would never do anything of value in his life
Whoa,
again.
what you guys? That's what you guys bullied him over?
Hey, we sat back and we thought we had good content. We're in the wrong. I wish that
Duchene's great.
We did a lot of growing up in the last decade.
I don't know. I'm still pretty petty. I went on Twitter. Ryan can attest to this. Within the last year or so, when what's his name in Utah
Dylan
now? No, Schultz.
Nick Schmaltz. Nick Schmaltz.
Schmaltz put up 8 points in a game, and I went back and found a 2015 tweet where Dave told me that this guy was like a scrub and never amount to anything, and that was the worst trade in NHL history. And I was like, he's a skill guy. He could, and I haven't grown up at all. I'm still petty. I'm sorry. Dave scarred me, I guess. But he's a good guy.
Yeah,
he toughened me up.
In case Dave is listening, he contributed so much to the initial start of this show. The man is a gift for gab and entertaining as hell. And
he pushed me,
and he pushed Paul, but he was able to make this show as entertaining as it was. So
I'm sorry. I'm just protective of Paul. I'm protective of.
We all gotta be.
Yeah.
I'm protective of this angel who defended Shea Weber's grace. I can't believe Shea Weber's great. What happened? What was wrong?
We love PK Subban here, mainly his views and political ideologies.
When that trade happened, that's what that was.
I wish you could have seen. You'll see Paul's reaction to that on the video version.
I also have defended PK Subban, and I was impressed with how he changed his style of play over his career when he became less mobile.
That's fair.
But I wasn't so convinced that Weber for Subban was as one-sided as some people. That's all.
No, well, someone got to a cup final. That's all. So.
PMAC, we'll wrap it up there. I love you to death, and thank you for all of your contributions over the years. And it was so much fun taking this journey with you, and I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for letting me tag along for a couple of years. Yeah,
we love you, Paul.
Love you guys too, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime soon.
I'll see you in June for that beer at the Dowler Olympics.
Come on over.
I'll see you then.
Hi guys, it's Heather calling from Hamilton. Happy last episode. This is sad but beautiful, and I guess I'm just calling to say thank you so much for hosting the pod for as long as you have, because personally this show has been probably like the highlight of my week for years, and while I am devastated to lose the show, I'm very happy to see you all go out on top. You know what I'm saying? So on the day of the final episode, I would fondly like to remember, oh my God, the Pucks on Net newsletter with all of the fantasy updates in it. Those were probably a lot of work. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. The jokes that have come from this podcast. What was the Tanner Pearson tree? I was trying to think about this today. What was the Tanner Pearson tree even in reference to? Does anybody remember now? I don't know, but I do know the Tanner Pearson tree giveth and the Tanner Pearson tree taketh away. The deconstructed Americano, I think about that joke at least 4 times a week because I ordered Americano at least 4 times a week. So sorry, Arash, for the pain that caused you, but goddamn, it was funny. I feel like we have all grown as Canucks fans in recent years because of like the literal trauma bond that we all formed through the Bim Jetting era. And Pucks on Net was just such a good outlet to commiserate with. So thank you. I'm going to miss hearing you every week. Good luck in your personal and professional endeavors. Please make Blue Sky accounts if you haven't yet, because Twitter's for sure going to blow up soon. Raise a glass of Apothic Red. If you know, you know. Cheers. Ah! R.I.P. It was fun.
Just this hoarding guy of DQ cakes. I'm sorry. This is
no,
when you talk about food.
Amazing. Just wait a second. Ryan,
Yeah.
Chap.
Yeah.
Have you eaten part of the cake yet?
Yeah.
Look at him.
I'm glowing with cake.
How much of the how much of the cake did you eat?
I had probably a quarter of it.
What are you doing with the rest of it?
I also imagine that you didn't cut a slice out. You just stuck the fork right in it.
Yeah, did you stick the fork or did you actually cut it?
I had a square in the middle, I bet.
This is
Yes,
so Guys, this is so funny that we are talking about this cake because this video just came in, and I'm just gonna share my screen.
It's true.
Ryan, I just want to say thank you for that delicious ice cream cake. And hopefully your 300th episode went off without a hitch tonight. I'll be tuning in either later tonight or tomorrow. Anyways, thank you very much. Much appreciated. We'll see you at Red Robin tomorrow night, baby.
Oh man. Oh,
Judas!
Jacob flooded our inbox with questions.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. He asked a very good question, and I'll ask it for each of us.
Yeah.
You travel back in time to your first recording to give yourself some advice about podcasting. What is it?
I don't know. I feel like whatever. 11 years in, I'm still winging it.
Yeah.
I remember the very first episode
Yeah.
that I was also woefully unprepared for. I don't know if you remember, but I was applying for a job and my application was due. I think it was a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I need to submit this tonight. And you're like, but I need someone to podcast. And it was like, I need you now. And I was like, it was like a split second kind of decision where it's like, okay, well, I'll just get in the car and I'll drive and I'll come do this. And I'd probably never, like, even though I had gone to school with Dave, I had never actually spoken to Dave before.
Yeah.
So our first conversation was actually just recorded. It's the very first podcast I did, probably about a month into like the start of Pucks on Net.
Yep.
And then somewhere along the way, I was promised I would only have to do it like one Sunday a month.
Barely a commitment.
And before I know it, everybody's moving into my apartment, which became the palatial estate.
Yeah, and I was leaving gear there. That was the site. We're telling Kyle Wellwood to go there.
Yeah.
My advice would be to calm down and slow down and take another beat to think about everything. What about you, Arash?
Just to always believe that you're a star and you've always been a star, and then no matter what, you're a star. It would have been, hey, dumbass, maybe don't fucking sneakily vape on camera while we're doing. I was learning how to be on camera at the time.
Hey, you got to vape. Sometimes you got to vape.
No, I mean sometimes you
Blow some clouds. Come on.
Sometimes you got to take the edge off, pal. You know. Yeah, I just like advice would just be. Yeah, it's just like it'll come. It'll definitely come. Like the more reps you do, and I just think about all the episodes that I've been able to do with you guys and how it's been just a great learning tool and so much experience. Like you don't know, like you're just doing a show with your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you don't really know how strong of an effect it has when you not only, let's say you go on different shows or you're doing different things, but when you're talking to people, when you're doing public speaking or you're trying to engage with people on a different level, it just makes you a bit more multifaceted. So
Right.
Not to quote the Philadelphia 76ers, but like trust the process.
Totally.
You know, if anyone's listening and if you've wanted to have a show and you've said to yourself, either I'm shy or I don't know if I'm any good.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if your audience is like one person, if it's like your partner, even no one.
Yeah.
Just do these shows. Do it for the love of it. And Ryan, I'm sure that's what happened when you started the show, was like you really wanted to create something for yourself, and you didn't really know how many people will listen, but hell, just go for it. And that turned into what it's turned into today. And 450, well, actually 5,000 episodes later.
well, 100%. Like I did not expect to be so comfortable. I was really, really anxious the very first episode, and like I said, like it was a conversation with somebody I had never even like spoken to, and yet 1,000 episodes in, like we very rarely had somebody on our show where we haven't had like instant chemistry with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't think there's really one episode out there where we're talking to somebody where it was really awkward. Like,
No, and I think that's what I got. I consider myself quite lucky. Like when it came time to assemble, a Super Friends, it was, Dave and Sheila and yourself and Paul were so good at conversation that people would listen. They wouldn't. There was never a knock about the quality of the show or the conversation. It was like, wow, it was good and easy and fun to listen to, and
any combination of us,
I didn't,
including yourself, Arash.
Yeah, well, and then when Arash comes in a big change, it's like, who do I know that is well spoken, entertaining, and kind of gets what we're doing, and kind of would gel with us, and it was, I made Arash do a guest spot on a Labor Day episode because of the COVID bubble.
Yeah.
And it felt really easy and really good. And then adding in Geeta and adding in Dave for a handful of episodes, there was this there's camaraderie and just this connection that just worked. It was next man up.
This isn't the first time the podcast has been on ended essentially, or was we'd talked about ending it, because when Dave moved to Ottawa, we were like, do you think it's time to end the podcast? And I don't think you were a part of the conversation where Paul and I were like, we're just gonna double down and work harder.
Yeah.
Rather than end the podcast, we chose to continue. We chose to give it more.
And that's. And when Arash joined the show, that was the same conversation we had at the Capitol on Davie, I think after the photo shoot, where you're like, I am here to give it my all and not fuck around and, make something of this. And it was incredibly special to have that buy-in, because I know from people that are in creative projects, a lot of people don't get that buy-in, and they don't get those people that, you don't necessarily, maybe you could have a slightly different vision or direction you want to go in, but I myself have been very lucky to have a decade of people fully believing in the process. Arash is, Philadelphia 76ers, and fully committed to the hustle and to the project. So, yeah, I'm insanely appreciative and insanely grateful for everybody that's been involved with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I to harken back on that, it's like also, when an opportunity presents itself, guys, jump on it. Life is about doorways and opportunities, and a lot of people will tell you it's about your education and your resume and all this. If you're good to people and doorways open and opportunities open, jump at it full on. Jump at it with everything you have. Because there's nothing worse than sitting and waiting for an opportunity, right? And that opportunity may never come again. Mm-hmm. That's the way you have to look at it. So, when Pon showed up, it was a whirlwind, just in terms of we were dealing with the COVID bubble. I kind of just met Ryan. We were just figuring stuff out, black acing. And then from there, Ryan taking me pseudo under his wing to teach me how to kind of be a professional adult and not a professional idiot. And then from there, the Botchford project thing. And oh my God, I remember I never said, I don't know if I ever mentioned the story of Botchford Project Day, but it's really funny. I remember it was during COVID, so our restaurant, we weren't able to have people in.
Right.
And we had the outdoor patios and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I went, some old guy came and ordered a beer, and then for whatever reason took the beer close to the beach.
Oh yeah, you've told
and
this rant before.
And I ran over. I'm like, sir, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean I'm like, you can't do that. He's like, well, you should have told me that. I'm like, what? Should I
It's
tell you not?
common sense. This
I'm like-
isn't Europe.
And I got so upset that I grabbed the beer. I grabbed the beer out of his hand and poured it in the street.
Yeah.
Got his money back. And he tried to talk to me. I just handed his money, went back, went to the bathroom, vaped in anger. And I was just so upset. I was like, God, I hate this. And then I went to my computer and I had a message from JPAT.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I have like 16 notifications on my Twitter? I looked, checked. First person I called was Ryan, and I was like and Ryan already knew.
Yeah.
And Ryan, just in the most fatherly way, was just like, congratulations, buddy.
I yelled. I was very happy for him.
Yeah, and then
I
from
need to go back to Arash policing the district.
I'm
You
just
were the savior I didn't know.
I love my hometown, and I feel like if you need to install something for the people around there, you should install it and not have to go through 17 different ID checks or reasons not to do something. But that's fine. That's totally okay. One day, the district of North Vancouver will be under dictator rule, and I will be there, sitting on top of Mount Seymour,
with an iron fist,
and be like, if you park in somewhere you're not supposed to,
we're in the midst of an election cycle, I fully expect to see your name on a board.
I don't know if I have the energy.
Come on.
I don't know if I have the energy to be in politics. Are you kidding me?
I would
man?
love it. I'd love you to get a whole bunch of Twitter notifications saying, Arash, you've been elected prime minister. And
do
you're
I-
just like, I'm vaping.
I'm
in the bathroom."
Just listen, okay? Just do what Pierre Elliott Trudeau did. Just do him. Get an AI of Pierre Elliott Trudeau. And just everyone's welcome. Everyone's fine. We're a melting pot. And now my final Yerky reference. I'm sure Yerky's gonna be like, actually, if you look at the political policies of one Pierre Elliott Trudeau in the long term, I'll just be like, errors and omissions. I can't wait.
Yerky has a very good voicemail that will be at the
Amazing.
end of the episode.
Love it.
I'm going to rattle through a couple of questions here. Roscoe.au, I believe is Australian, on Instagram asks, can Arash sponsor myself and my partner to come over and run Pomegranate for 10 plus years? XPR. I don't know what that
experience.
means.
Oh.
Yeah. Listen, Roscoe, if you want to buy this restaurant, you call me up. Let me know. 100%. You want a restaurant in one of the most money making places in British Columbia? Sure. Give me a call. No problem.
I was gonna say, but we still expect free pizza.
Yeah, well, they better give us free pizza. I'm just saying, jeez. I hope I can come back and as like a pseudo celebrity, be like, hey, this used to be my old stomping ground. that's where I used to vape. That's where I used to throw my vape cartridges. And that's where I used to speak ill of people in my native tongue of Farsi while they could not understand.
PMAC has texted a video or a photo, a receipt. You guys climbed Quarry Rock in June 2017.
2017.
So.
Oh, that's like peak busy. That was like peak before everything kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the world decided to go to shit.
Megan in the Discord. Megan Kennedy was just in San Jose following her Toronto Maple Leafs. Longtime Patreon backer. Thank you for everything, Megan. Besides each other, what do you all think you will be the biggest thing you'll miss after the show ends?
Oh, that's a good question.
The listeners, the fans, we've made friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like just the amount of times like we've had listeners like come into our shop and just knowing like you from doing this show, just having that ability, even like Christmas parties, I assume, like being able to connect with people that engage with what you're doing, is something super magical, and everyone's been always so nice and and welcoming and everything. But yeah, besides each other,
I would say the same thing because the whole reason you do this, aside from the sweet Patreon dollars or buymeacoffee.com/pucksonnet, is somebody messages you or somebody responds to a video or a podcast and says this is funny or that was great, and like, there was somebody quote tweeted this person, Haley, was like quote tweeted our "Way We're Going Away" post, and they said my favorite podcast is going away, and I'm like, what? I went through the I searched this on Twitter. I'm like, we've interacted one time. Like, I wish we knew that.
There's so many listeners that like have made an impression on us because they've reached out to us and we've managed to build relationships with them. But just to build on that, we've done this podcast for so long that we've gone through so many like personal things at the same time, and it's been so nice to have this podcast to rely on some of the darkest days that we've gone through.
Yeah.
That whatever was going on, we were able to, it was one of those things where you can like still check it at the door and you can come and you knew you were going to see your friends and you were going to have a good laugh.
Yeah. And it was something to kind of look forward to through the week of, oh, I got a good joke, or this happened and I know Arash will have we'll be able to cook something up that's a funny bit together. So that I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, Arash will say something that's like an edit point. It'll be great.
On the subject of, fostering relationships, I forget who it was. I think Stuart Todd, I don't know if that's same old Stuart or a different one. A Stuart from the UK was...
Same old Stu.
It might be a different one.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I'm trading a small Pucks on Net shirt for a crudely crested Mark Messier.
Oh, the Messier one you showed
Orca
me
jersey.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming soon. So like,
Are you gonna wear? Oh, you know what?
I would. I'm not afraid.
You're not afraid?
Just take a stand,
No,
everybody.
I'm just saying, like, I will trade in the disgrace of you never making me curry, and on our bet, if you go to a Canucks game and vlog wearing that Messier jersey.
Maybe I absolutely will.
Brock Besser's here on the verge of his second career 40-goal season.
We will have curry in a few weeks when Geeta's feeling better.
Okay.
Oh, so now that's up to how Geeta's feeling. I'm the one you made the bet with, pal. When I make a bet with someone, I man up and pay them. And you know what the most debilitating thing is? Geeta, realistically, how hard is it to make curry? Like just from
I don't know. He took a cooking class.
No, I'm just saying, just like from a it's like if my parents taught me how to make like an Iranian stew.
Throw everything into a pot, simmer.
That's literally, you just throw it in the pot. Cardamom seed, mustard powder, whatever.
I want Rowan's cooking class curry with mashed potatoes.
Oh,
it's coming, and we will have a feast in late spring, early summer. Perfect curry weather.
Perfect curry.
Should we have it for the draft lottery?
Not a bad idea.
We got 15th overall and food poisoning.
Hey, come on. There's no. I'm gonna make it with tofu.
With tofu?
Yeah.
Do you not put cream in there?
I use coconut milk.
Coward.
Jacob also asks, what happens first, a reunion show or a Canucks Stanley Cup celebration?
Reunion
Obviously,
show.
reunion
Are you kidding
show.
me? This raccoon garbage franchise ain't winning anything anytime soon.
Would it not be really funny if they got in with their 8% and then?
What if we were the problem?
We are the problem. It is me. It is us. We will disappear. The show ends tonight. St. Louis loses every game in the remainder of the regular season. Canucks win every game, and I go, oh golly gee, I guess we got to dust. Nope, we can't dust off the post.
Do you think we gave too much goodwill to Jordan Binnington? I've been really thinking about that. And I was like, did we make this happen? Did we make him hot?
Yep.
Did I do that? Well, that was the thing that Blues fans always told us is like when you need a save, he makes that save. He might not make the save that you expect him to, but when it's fourth overtime and you need him to make that save, he makes that save.
You're like, should we have sacrificed that Four Nations championship in order to have a Canucks playoff?
Yeah, I don't know if
There's
I'd take
big-
the.
There's bigger things
No,
afoot.
it's well bigger things, that's the problem.
Jacob also asked, best experience you had on official podcast business. My answer would be probably
Podcast
Brazzers.
Oh my God, Ryan.
When Brazzers followed us, and I'm like, they must
Oh,
follow
yeah.
everybody. They followed like a few hundred people, and then they sent us a bunch of shirts.
Oh, what were they? They were like the Geeta Ready fan club.
Yeah,
or something.
hashtag Team Geeta.
Nice.
So that's probably it. There's a lot of them, but going to a game with Sheila, disgruntled former employee Sheila, in the free tickets from CTV, I think, sitting next to somebody that overheard us about the podcast who owned and operated the Image Optometry in Seven Oaks Mall in Abbotsford, and said, "Hey, I like your show, and how about I sponsor it?"
Oh, that was our first like official sponsorship.
Yeah, he gave us like $900. It was
What?
awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I bought this board with it
Whoa.
and all those custom pucks.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Listen,
Did
all
you get glasses?
I did.
Oh.
I did. Yeah.
I would love to. Oh man, can we go back and tell me I want glasses?
I also, got all those pucks, and to all you kids out there, pucks are heavy. Pucks cost a lot to ship.
Yeah.
And do you know how much 100 pucks weighs? A lot. To the point where when UPS came to deliver them to my apartment, I was like, okay, bring them up. And the guy went, nope. And
UPS was like, fuck off, dog.
that's 100% what happened. Mile High Travis, our dear friend Travis Elliott,
Huge Travis Elliott.
on the Instagram asks, if it hasn't been done before, go around the table and say their favorite episodes. Arash, you go first.
Favorite episode?
There's no wrong answer.
I mean, I don't know if it's the episode or moment. I mean, do the post game shows count as a moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
He says episode, not
Well,
moment.
okay. No,
I'm
episode.
just gonna say episode 102.
What was episode 102?
The funniest cold open in history that got Geeta some concerned remarks at a family family festivities.
What happened?
You go back and listen. 102.
No, just tell me.
No, you gotta go back and listen.
Is it a Tinder date?
No, it's just really funny.
Okay.
It is.
No.
Everybody go back and
No,
listen to
no,
episode
no.
102.
I have a
102?
husband now, and I'm a mother.
Oh yeah, that is true. Wow.
Post game show.
Yeah, well, I mean, mine was. I was just trying to think of like. I remember. I don't know if okay. Well, the question's like favorite episode and moment. I don't know if these probably crammed in together, but I remember this past summer, it was game 1 against Edmonton, and I think the Canucks were down 5-2 in the third or whatever. Or no, 4. No, what was it? 4-1? Yeah, it was 4-1. And I remember being at my parents' house and being like, "Oh, fuck. Okay. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm going to leave a little early because I got to do a post-game show." I get in the car. It's like, what was it? Who was it? It was like Lindholm, Zadorov, like at the cross light just to turn left. It's like Garland. And I'm in the driveway. I'm in the alley, and I'm too afraid to go inside, knowing that we came in, you and I, so hot for that post game episode.
I was like, don't say a thing.
I'm like, yeah,
a moat.
We were electric, like our blood was just like boiling and stuff. But I'm trying to remember, just like there's so many goddamn funny episodes the three of us have been on and stuff. And
Oh,
I'm
there
just
was
trying to think.
well, speaking of last year's playoffs, there was the episode from Yaletown.
Yeah, that made it in the intro.
Yeah.
That was like just seeing you like after you and Reed with the year of raising Rowan.
Oh, just
and
tying
having
on.
a night out, and you being like, again, there's times you were hammered because you had nothing to eat. You got the giant glass of wine, and you were just saying something like, "I went in and did this, and now Reed's not talking to me." And it
Was that the OEL? Sorry, and you were talking about that on the radio today
Which one?
about Reed not talking to me about
So my podcast
no,
partner has
you
marital
guys are
problems.
actually talking about the people who believe they'll get into the playoffs are the same people who believe that the OEL was a
Yeah,
good trade.
yeah, no, oh my God, I did.
I was just sitting there going,
I referred to that moment today at work when the OEL trade happened, and the three of us we're in such delusional shock that we're like,
It could be
I mean,
okay.
it could be okay. Like, you know.
And I remember that happening. I think we were in Campbell River trying to get the ferry to go to Quadra, and the trade happens, and Reed's like, it's okay, it's a good trade. He's blah 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 blah, and it was the biggest fight of our relationship. and then you made me podcast from the ferry, and I'm like, and I need to text you about what's happening because I can't actually say it because he's sitting beside me.
Oh, yeah,
man,
you
that's
came
funny.
in guns a-blazing in a very specific way
I was
that
like,
episode.
This is terrible, and I was right.
Yes, you were, Geeta, and I was delusional, and I was busy going, you know, he's a good player, and you got all those dumb, just delusional. So I, all of the receipts and all of the comments you made around that time, me personally, I admit my wrongs. Favorite episodes for me, we have our, as COVID went on, it was more and more former hockey players started their own shows.
Right.
Before it was spitting chicklets and nothing else. So you
Yeah.
would get these. There was an appetite and a desire for hockey players to come on normie podcasts, and so getting Sean Matthias on and having the best conversation with him about his time in Vancouver and
if you watch that video, you see every one of our faces change when we asked the right question.
Yeah.
He buried.
But he didn't even
Jim-
have to bury him. He's like, here is what happened.
No, he's like, yeah, I scored 20 goals. You didn't even call me.
Yeah. And we're just like, oh, we got something
And
here.
then that was the first time I think Drance ever DM'd me. And he was just like,
Yeah.
look at your face, dude. Like, yeah.
Sean Matthias DM'd me a lot after that, and he's like, I guess that was a good show if my agent is messaging me. It's the former hockey player
Yeah.
ones are good, but
There was Ray Ferraro.
Yeah,
That was a great one.
that was a stressful, chaotic 6 a.m. We'll get it done one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to give a favorite episode, it's one where we barely look at the notes or the rundown, and we all
Yeah.
have a lot to say, and we all have jokes to make,
Yeah.
and time flies by, and I look back, I'm like, man, there's 15 hilarious things that happened here.
Well, I'll just say, there were I think in the time, I've been on the show, very rarely, I can't count on one hand, episodes that were tough for me.
Right.
Right. Maybe, the only times things were tough were because, I was having a tough day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just being around you guys, has brought so much laughter and happiness and just joy to my life. And just, every man, Ryan with the rundowns, you create the rundowns, and that's the kind of North Star. And then, but how we get there is all dependent on our vote.
It was never a real rundown. It was, here's what we might talk about, and here's, because nothing infuriates me more than listening to a podcast and them going, was he drafted in 20? How many goals did he have last year?
How many?
And I'm like, if we can prevent that and on and just keep to business.
That's why we're not here for the facts. We don't know how many goals you scored last year. We will assign you a number.
We don't know how many goals you scored, but you're hot. So, yeah.
Nikon Dan, who helped contribute to the buymeacoffee.com/pucksonnet. On a scale of Binnington to Brizgalov Bears, how nervous are you for the future post-podcast?
Well, that's a big question. Nikon, what does
that even mean?
Let me tell you something. Nikon is this beautiful young Persian kid who has a great future ahead of him in sports media. He has asked some very ominous questions the last 2 weeks. The future.
As you think about it, Binnington famously said, "Do I look nervous?"
Right.
In the post game when everyone's like, "Yeah, you do."
Oh, Bears and universe so big.
And during HBO 24/7, the second season, Brizgoli was like, "What?" He was so worried about Bears and the scope of the universe.
Universe so big, right? And we're so small. No, I'm not really. I mean, listen, we're in our 30s, right? So as we get older, we keep learning we learn new lessons, and we learn to kind of, there's new things as adults that we have to take in, and as we get older, there's less new things that we also see, so not every day is the the new big revelation and everything. But in terms of nervousness, man, just I'm not, there's no nerves for the next day or whatever. It's just enjoy where you are at that day in the present.
Yeah.
Make good choices, be good to people, and let the universe kind of dictate everything else.
That's really beautiful.
Try your best, man.
I can't say that I'm that nervous. I was getting to a point where I was nervous about staying really comfortable and doing what we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to think about how I wouldn't say that anything we did was stale, but the name and the podcast, the idea of it had been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hard to kind of circle back and try to recaptivate a fan when they know, like, oh, I know about this podcast, or somebody, PMAC or Dave said, Sheila said this 8 years ago, and I found them annoying then. I'm not going to listen to them. So it's really hard to, everybody has these preconceived notions because the show's been around so long. So it's like, that is the one thing that I was nervous about. Like, how are we going to grow the show or try to reconnect with people with a name, with a thing that's been around so long?
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows us. Everybody knows our personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody probably can anticipate what our jokes might be, or what the flavor of the podcast is. We've gotten very comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. We started when there was only cereal.
When it was so, I had to get the tech at Shaw TV to explain to me and outline how to publish a podcast and how to output it.
Yeah.
Because in 2013, it was extremely challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if you could get a podcast to all of the platforms,
Yeah.
you had won already. And it was hard to do. Most people couldn't do it or had the stomach to do it. And things have changed. So I'm not nervous about what happens next week or the following weeks.
No.
I'm really looking forward to a break, to not know that we did a great show, but in 6 days there's another one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to everybody kind of getting through this phase in their lives and then
Mm-hmm.
going, hey, I have an idea. Or for one of you saying, I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my biggest regret with this podcast. It wasn't as strategic as it could have been. And we'd come up with ideas here or there, but we kind of just, this works, we'll do that.
Right.
So I'm excited for a little bit of a change and a break and just a different mindset.
Geeta,
Yes.
Ryan's going to realize that once he becomes polyamorous with us, that we're actually going to be way hotter and we're going to have hooking up with way more people. He's not going to know what he missed. You're gonna wish you had this wham bam multicultural one too. You're gonna miss it, Mr. Penang Curry. I'm just kidding. I love you. You're great.
My dear friend Brittany Mack, Sport Biscuit, she asks, what do you like most about each other?
Oh, who's gonna pretend first?
Right off the bat, we talked about the conflict in this podcast, and we don't like each other.
We just don't like each other. We're just, we just get paid excruciatingly large sums of money.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Arash, my favorite thing about you is your personality, and that's in terms of how funny you are, how caring and outgoing you are, and just there is, I don't know, you're very good at what you do. You are just a very captivating person, and I love doing creative things with you. and it's been such a good journey.
Well, me too.
Aw.
Geeta, I made you podcast during a Peyton Manning Monday Night Football or whatever day it was, and you did it, and I acknowledged and recognized that commitment immediately, and I felt that I don't know, you're a very loyal person, and you're also the funniest one on the show.
Easily.
But
easily the
I
funniest
feel
person.
like our friendship is a very good two-way street of loyalty for one another.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start with Arash. I love how easily you came into my life and you've become a part of it. It's never really been work. It's just been so easy to talk to you, easy to know that you were always going to be there with a joke and make me laugh. And that's so nice that it was such an instant friendship. And then with Ryan, yeah, right back at you. You are probably my most loyal friend that I've probably ever had.
Yeah. There's a lot more good things about one another, but
Yeah, like you're the person that I can always depend on and count on, and in a heartbeat.
yeah. And when I got my gallbladder removed, you're ready to take me for groceries and do a podcast.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, Geeta, I would have to say, like, if I don't know if this show would have been what it was for the past 5 years. Like, you can do Ryan and I, but this show would not have been what it is today without you, just strictly due to the fact that, like, you are, if I had to pick someone that would come into an insanely hectic and insane situation, like the calming presence you have in not only dealing with Ryan and I, but the fact that just as a person, like, every time I've talked to you, every time we've ever done anything, and I've made like a crude joke or said something stupid, I've never really had to think in my head that you didn't understand where someone might be coming from or whatnot. But just the fact that you have this eternally calming presence about you, that I feel like you're the person that needs to be I wish every person had a Geeta. I wish every single person had someone in a group to be that kind of, that star in the universe, that one sun in the universe that keeps everyone in revolution, in that where they'll be, they'll never be the person that's going to add extra baggage, but at the same time, like, if I had a gun to my head and I'm like, okay, who's the one person do I call for the ransom? Geeta will answer, and not only that, but she'll probably haggle them down to a really great price. And I just, just from that perspective, like, I really don't, I can't thank you enough for in the last 5 years, but being a part of my life. And yeah, Ryan, like, just in terms of our brotherhood, like, I don't want to get sappy, but fuck, it's, and Geeta might be able to relate to this, but you kind of, sometimes you dream at night when you're a kid or you're a person of color. In my situation, you dream at night of, like, the chance where someone opens that door for you. And it's really hard. It's hard because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about your resume. It doesn't matter. You can work 4 times harder than the next person, but you opened a door for me that fundamentally changed my life. And yeah, I'm so thankful that God or Buddha or Allah or anyone, just, we met at the den. And you know what? That God is actually Mike Noble. Mike,
Yep.
Thank you for introducing us. But you have been someone that I've been able to learn so much so quickly from. You were my BCIT. You were literally my crash course in all of this. you were the best teacher I could have learned from. You also like to drink, so that's fucking sick.
Can't say the same thing about you, pal.
No, pal. I drink 1 Miller High Life, and I'm like, Katie, I'm doing coke. I'm sorry, I'm wasted. But no, I thank every day that you came into my life, and just so blessed that you were so open and receptive to having me and dealing. Listen, I'm an insane person, and the fact that you've been able to rein that in and keep that within context of any insane thing I do. I know it's difficult sometimes, and I love you eternally for it. And
It's I don't know.
I'd hide a body for you.
I'd do what I could to get you out of a jam. I don't know. You mentioned, being.
Whoa. He'd hide a body for you, but you'd just do whatever you could to help.
Why would you? All right, fine. I would hide bodies for both of you. You mentioned like, being a person of color and the challenges that you face in terms of that ladder. And I don't know. I'm extremely white. I was raised in Abbotsford. I've done a lot of dumb things and said a lot of dumb things. But it was.
We're here to check your whiteness.
You're here to check my whiteness, but also when it came time to make this, who would be the best possible person for this role. I had those conversations and at different times, and you were those people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I spent a lot of my, the first half of my upbringing pretty dumb and closed-minded, but not full of, I'm not discriminatory.
Well, I mean, listen, we're all stupid, man. And when it comes to these things like growing up, where we're all a creature of our environments, and it takes a village to raise someone. And sometimes the village can teach you some messed up habits or stupid preconceptions or whatever. And everyone has this. As a person of color, I'm just saying, everyone has. I have it against my own people sometimes. I'm like, it's just like those things. So
you are a product of where you come from.
Yeah.
We live in a really diverse region.
I just I think that when people at first glance would look at our show, and I don't know, think that having a cultural mosaic was some sort of strategic move. When it was literally, I'm like, who could I do a show with that would be really good?
Yeah.
And that's something that I genuinely love and cherish about this, and that it is authentic about the the people that I have attracted.
Yeah.
So I love that.
100%.
Ryan and I went to BCIT together for 2 years. We never spoke once, I don't think.
Oh, I was very dumb and loud.
Yeah, because Ryan and I grew up as kind of bigger boys, and we didn't, probably didn't get a lot of attention and all this stuff. And then as we grew up, those insecurities, we got to be loud. Hey, everyone, look at me.
And then I saw a list, a GQ list. It's like all guys should read, and it's like nobody likes the loud, drunk, funny guy. And I went, fuck, that's me. But no, based on the speeches that both of you gave at my wedding, I'm bringing it up again. And,
oh my god!
And that my
I
sister.
wish we were doing shots.
Yeah, I wish we were doing shots.
I got this Seattle Kraken fireball that our friend Andrew got me. I think that in terms of my loudness and my stupidity, I can probably thank Amanda for really reining that in.
Oh, it's so good to have a way better half, isn't it? It's so good to have someone that's way out of our league that we're like, I have to shape up here.
Nat, a dear friend of the show, she says, can't believe it's over. Sounds like I officially need to get a life now. If any, for each of you, what are your plans for life after the podcast? Geeta, you go first.
I think I officially start mat leave today.
Hey!
Yeah.
So that I've got nothing but free time to podcast. So if somebody's looking to start a podcast,
The Matt Leave podcast.
Hey, bad idea. Arash, what about you?
Is this like our spirit board of what we want after the show?
Hey, what are your plans? Yeah, it can be whatever
what are
you
your,
want.
Like, what are you? Tell everybody what you're doing like with your life.
Well, right now I'm okay. This is what I'm gonna envision.
Okay.
I'm working at Sportsnet 650. I want to work there full time. Cam, if you're listening, you already know this, but sick.
Cam, what the fuck?
Mr. Bear is a good boy.
Pull your head out of your ass. Maybe look at the people around you. You got a bunch of dinosaurs making paychecks that they don't need.
There's no one over 40 there. Well, okay.
Arash was our best hire, so.
What are you doing?
He
this
hired
guy
me
went
already.
Oh.
Come on, pal. I know.
Hire him some more. I don't know.
Hire him harder.
Yeah.
Hire him harder. I'm gonna hire you so hard. Yeah. And as right now, best wishes to my dad as he's going through some medical battles in his life. Looking to go to the next chapter in terms of my parents and everything, and having the freedom to go down this path that this show lovingly created for me, and chasing my dream. I am so stupidly happy working at my new job.
Arash,
yeah.
Can you bring your podcast to work one day? Like,
oh, bring my. Well, I'm pretty sure, unlike another show, we don't have to pay to be on the fucking air. Can I say that? I don't know. I don't even know if that rumor is true. I'll ask tomorrow. but
like, can you just bring us to work and like?
You've already been there.
I've been there.
I've never been there.
You want to come be there?
Yes.
Oh my God, you just
maybe after Friday.
Yeah,
or before. You might get away with more.
Bring your podcast to work day. That'd be great. But no, I'm incredibly happy and just hope to climb the ladder and see where life takes me. But I want to be a part of this market. I want to cover this team. I want to be there for you guys. I want to be a part of, be there for fans listening, create a better product, and just go through this crazy, insane thing that is Vancouver Canucks hockey. I'm in it. I'm 110% in it for this province, for the city, for fans of this team, for everyone. I'm in it, man. I'm hooked on it.
My plans after this week is to kind of look at Sundays a bit differently.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like, I think, Ryan, maybe a little bit.
What's that?
So I had worked summers all the time at the shop, and there were like last year, whatever, there'd be times where like my brother would have given me time off, and I distinctly remember it being like a Saturday in July, and my brother's like, "Yeah, we don't need you at work today," and I just I sat in my yard, and I was like, "What do I do? What do people like? What do I do on a Saturday in the summer?"
That's a big thing that came with this decision. Is most of our adult identity is tied into producing a hockey podcast once a week, and I thought about this show a lot, and it was Sunday was prep. About 8:00 at the Sunday Scaries. Monday was do the show, and as the show got more big and complex, I would probably work from 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. doing the show. Tuesday, I would, if it was a good show, I'd be like, I got to get those clips. And it was just thinking about clips through the week and then wondering what we're going to do next week. And I loved that. And it was something I felt lucky to have that type of exciting project for, or to have that type of mindset for an exciting project. So I'm excited for the shock to the system that comes with not having that.
Yeah.
I'm doing some producing for our dear friend Josh's wrestling stream, which is mostly production with some on camera, which it's really scratching a production itch.
Right.
And I've had an idea for a White Stripes podcast that...
Yeah, you absolutely should.
And
be doing this.
Amanda bought me this Rick Rubin book.
Yeah, the art of... What is it?
Something.
Yeah.
He's just shooting his mouth off the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had one thing that he said that's like, paraphrasing, if you come up with an idea, it's not like... it's not because you came up with it. It's because the energy is out there and the universe needs that idea. And and I'm like, shit. So I'm going to do a White Stripes podcast that is completely different from this, and it's a completely different workload. But if you need to know 3 things about me, I love, in no particular order, the White Stripes, wrestling, and hockey. And
your wedding.
And my wife and my wedding, which featured a lot of those things, if you think about it. So I'm excited to take on a project that is super scary and different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to take my break, get that itch. And I'm excited to, when ideas come a-flowing and I hit you guys up and I excited for let's do that or I'm too busy. But life is about not being comfortable all the time.
100%.
And it's going to be just exciting of doing something uncomfortable and new.
Okay, CM Punk. Gee. I had to do MMA. It was terrifying, so I had to do it.
My dad just phoned in at 8:30 and left a voicemail. Do you want to hear it?
Shoot, go for it.
Sauce line? What the hell is a sauce line? Anyway, this is your father calling. It's Monday night around 7:30 or so. I understand this is the last recording of your Pucks on Net. And just wondering why. What's happening? What's going on? Did you guys get served or something, or what's going on there? So what's going to happen now? Where am I going to listen to my podcasts for my son and his buddies doing updates on hockey and whatnot? I'm going to really miss it. I enjoyed it. Anyway, I just thought I'd say hello and wish you guys all the best, and hopefully something else will come around. I'm sure it will. And you guys have a great night, and thanks for all the podcasts. Have a good one. See you later.
Aww.
That's such a dad response.
That was so your dad.
Well, we just we took that CERB grant during COVID, and we're in financial ruin.
Do you want?
We owe $50,000.
Do you want to hear another voicemail?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, here is another one.
This is the ghost of the haunted Burger King. Our skeleton kingdom has spared your show all these years because you have recognized our grounds. May your future endeavors be prosperous like our king deals. $3 Whoppers at all locations on Abbotsford Canuck game days. And your hockey offerings have warmed many a heart like our spicy crispy chicken. Sorry, this feels like an ad read, our bad. Good luck, Crow Show. You will be missed.
I'm glad the Skeleton King is back.
I got that voicemail. It was texted to me, and I was driving home from the island last night, and I got the text, and I just played it, and it just did not tell me it was an audio message. So that voice came over, and
that voice sounded like the audio receiver that Kevin McAllister uses in Home Alone, where he's like, "Hello, this is Mr. McAllister. I'd like to order a large pizza."
We have a plethora of voicemails.
Ring through it.
No, they will air at the end of the episode.
Aw, but I want to hear them. Give me one more.
Okay.
Give me one more.
Hello, this is Carly calling. I've never left a voicemail for you before, but I was part of the infamous drunk call from Ryan's then fiance and my future fiance when we were in Scottsdale for a bachelor and bachelorette trip. I wasn't on the call, but I did watch them make a fool of themselves asking about ordering a pomegranate pizza to Scottsdale and Amanda jumping in the pool. I've also never left a voicemail because I am not a Canucks fan anymore. I did recently go to a game and my friend thought we were playing the Minnesota Wind, so that should tell you something. I also just learned we have 3 Pedersens on the team, which is way more confusing than having 2 Sedins. But I did want to make my first and last call in today to tell you how amazing this run has been. I was in Ryan's wedding, and I've hung out with Arash and Geeta, and I hope you 3 are so, so proud of yourselves. It's been an incredible podcast, and you've done such an amazing job, and I hope you all have the best memories as you flip to this next chapter. You 3 are all very impressive, and Pucks on Net will have an epic legacy.
Good luck with everything, and cheers to one last incredible episode.
Did you listen to the one I sent you?
I did.
Yeah. That's going to close out the podcast because that was very special.
That was very cute. Thank you, Carly. I don't know. Why is Carly not a Canucks fan anymore?
Why would anybody be a Canucks fan?
Ride or die, man. Ride or die, homie.
Yeah, so there'll be a shitload of voicemails.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how that show will end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you like this show to end?
I mean, there's only one way, but it's too memeable.
Do you want to take a swig of this?
No,
fun?
I just don't want to pay Green Day any more money. There's no other way to end this show than that song being played. I mean, in my head, it's too meta of a joke in this market.
It will not be being played. Again, I have had the idea in the back. I had like an idea that it was like a dirty thought.
Okay.
And I was like, if
32 dirty thoughts.
30 I had 32 dirty thoughts.
No, I don't want to get radioed, but I have been a very bad boy lately.
You're not going to talk about Tate McRae, right?
Just
way to go, Cole, you moron.
Jesus Christ. Good job, Cold Soldier.
No, the dirty, the bad thought that shouldn't enter my mind was when we do our final episode, it would be called Moving Along.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the song
Right.
that plays after every episode.
Yeah.
And we will be moving along.
Right.
So that's one of our groom's people, Jeff's band. And I again, there are very strategic and specific reasons why I selected people to be my groom's people.
Right.
And Jeff was a wise older brother-like voice and never steered me wrong. So when we recorded the first couple episodes of the show,
right.
I sent it to him and I said, and he went to BCIT for journalism. He worked at sport. He did all that. And I'm like, do we have something here? And he was like, yes, it's really good. It's entertaining. Like, and even when I told him we were ending it, he's like, no, don't. You're good at it. So I just wanted to thank Jeff for that guidance.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Brazil right now, potentially in his Speedo.
Sick.
That's why he's not on the show.
Yeah. So I wanted to thank him. I also would love to thank. We ragged on him on this show, but I appreciate every minute that Dave was commenting and contributing and being a great friend and a good softball player, a teammate.
Dave was an awesome co-host for the years that he also dedicated to this show.
Yes, and he brought something very unique that the podcast market the podcast in this market didn't have, and it set us in a league of our own. But and I want to thank Sheila for coming up with the idea, our dear friend Sheila Scott for coming up with the idea to do this podcast. And I want to thank PMAC. I've already thank PMAC, dear Geeta and dear Arash, and our onslaught of black aces over the years.
Yeah.
Handsome Stu Walters, who never passed up opportunity to do the show. Our friend Simon Baldwin, Matt Kerr, our latest black ace. It's
Cole Renner.
A lot of, I think the most special thing to me about this show, and I kind of said it, is I'm incredibly grateful and equally lucky to have this onslaught of funny, captivating, and intelligent people around me that somehow I keep lucking out with people to be a co-host.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
A thank you to our partners who don't care that we
100%.
nerd it up on Monday nights.
100%.
Yeah. Amanda, I think she left a voicemail at the end of the show. People, we surrounded ourselves. I surrounded myself with people who surround themselves with very good people and people who support and uplift our passions and what we like and who we are. And I'm forever grateful for that.
Any last Canucks takes? Is there a last Canuck take that you got before we wrap things up.
Yeah, I
This-
can't wait for them to spend all that cap space on Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh no.
This fan base is so not chill. They have no cool. They don't know how to calm down. They stress out and freak out about everything, but they are justified in the things they freak out about.
Yeah.
Two things can be true at the same time. We are an incredibly insecure, broken franchise and fan base, and we bring it up, all of these insecurities at the drop of a hat, but seemingly they are warranted because the person driving the ship is a colossal schmuck. It's everybody that has interacted with this show, I love to death. Whether you listen to a minute or an hour or a second of our show, I say this a lot. It is incredibly special to have people that dig you being your truest self. And so I love that. As for the Canucks, Quinn Hughes isn't going anywhere, and he will be fine. He's the best player in franchise history.
So don't bully him into leaving.
Just calm
Stop it.
down.
I'm going to bully him even harder.
He's not going anywhere, and he will be great forever. And chill out, and don't constantly bring up your past.
Like, don't you guys want to? I wish we could go back to the start and talk about Marner. Like, don't you think he'd want to go to a market where
Ryan, can we do this for 50 more minutes?
Yeah,
50 more minutes?
like why would he not want to go to a market where like we're gonna pick on other people before we come down to him?
Going from Toronto to Vancouver is probably going from like crack cocaine to straight lining heroin. Like there's you just
still intense. It's just different.
But like we're gonna turn to him after we go after Pettersson, and then we're still gonna spend a whole nother year of picking on like Quinn Hughes is gonna leave us. Probably we're not good enough.
Listen,
there's so especially if Brock Besser somehow manages to sign here.
He better not.
Like Mitch Marner's so far down that pecking order, and we haven't pushed Noah Juleson out of the city yet, so we've still got that to contend with. This is the ideal spot for Marner to land.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out maybe later. I don't know if Mitchie's coming to Vancouver, but you know.
But you don't know that he's not.
We'll have it. Well, if Mitch Marner comes here, we will have an emergency podcast only for that specific thing.
Yeah,
if Mitch Marner signs in Vancouver, we will have an hour-long Mitch Marner from the Dead podcast.
Hell,
maybe even 2 hours.
I can't wait to see you on July 1st.
I'll be like, hey guys, I'm just vaping, making pizzas. This is crazy. Yeah, just to Canucks fans. Yeah, man, this is kind of what Ryan said, but just keep at it. Your passion is amazing. If you want to be angry, be angry. If you want to be tempered, be tempered. Be engaged. This is a wacky thing. This is a wacky game of grown-ass men slapping a rubber puck on ice, and it's the thing that brings us all together. It doesn't matter if it's this sport, whatever the communal fire is. Bring it together, man. And I can't wait for this team one day, hopefully one day, they reach that mountaintop, and I will see you all out on the streets of Vancouver, and I hopefully don't get COVID from kissing you all on the mouth. But yeah, it'll be a fantastic thing, and I hope Michael Bublé buys the Canucks, man. That's all. Bublé will save us. Bublé will save us.
Yeah.
Bublé, Bublé, Bublé.
As we say goodbye one last time, tell people what you think of them. Be appreciative. And if you dig something people are doing, let them know. Don't always be a lurker, and that goes with your friends, your family, or people that you listen or watch. Don't be afraid to communicate. And thank you for liking what we did.
You liked us. You really liked us.
Yeah. And again, the Pucksnet Discord remains open because that's a very good community. So if you want to join that, just send me an email. Buymeacoffee.com/pucksonnet. Geeta, you got anything you want to say?
I'm gonna miss this.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This has been a big part of my life.
Yeah. And we'll come to terms and figure out what our life will look like away from this.
Maybe Ryan can get a tan so he looks a bit more multicultural. So it looks like 3 multicultural people are coming back together.
On that note, our dear friend Andrew got me this counterfeit Seattle Kraken fireball when he was in Washington, and it was saving it for a special occasion. So I'll take a swig of this and I'll hand it over to dear Arash, and that's about it.
Geeta, will you be partaking?
I'll pass.
What? How come?
For that reason.
All right.
Oh God, white people. Why would they make that?
On that note, it's good night, and we've got to be moving along. Here's Lions in the Street.
Hi, Arash, Geeta, and Ryan. This is Andrew Paddock calling from lovely Long Island, New York. Long-time listener and, well, first and I guess final caller. I just want to say thank you guys for all the wonderful episodes and everything you guys have done. I'm going to miss it, but, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys carry on in the next, chapter for everyone. I think my favorite bit you guys ever did was just a reoccurring segment on the Oilers. Just it's very fascinating to hear all the different ways they went wrong and are still going sideways. But anyway, again, thanks for everything, and hope you guys all do really well and fantastic things in the next chapter of every one of your lives. And take care, and bye.
Hey, Pucks on Net. Gordon from Vancouver, longtime lurker. First-time caller, just wanted to say congrats on the 11 years. You guys have been a little bright spot in the coverage of this shitty team. And, hope that whatever comes next goes well for all of you. Quick one before you go, Saucer Toss. Coming back and doing post-game shows in 3 or 4 years next time the team makes the playoffs.
Hey, what's up? Ryan, Geeta, Arash, Justin from Long Island here. Just want to say congratulations on all the hard work that you guys put into the podcast and how it's paid off for each and every one of you. Pucks on Net was the first hockey podcast that I started listening to. That wasn't one of those, majorly sponsored, 32 Thoughts, Ask, or Spit and Chicklets kind of thing. And I've had a blast this whole time. And very thankful those Run by Canucks fans. That definitely made it a lot easier to listen to, easy to stomach. Especially through all the rough years that the podcast has been through. So, like I said, I've listened for a long time, and I'm lucky to have it a part of my rotation. Been able to share laughs with you guys in the Discord, in my car at 5 in the morning on the way to work. Cheers to all you guys in your next chapters. Hope you can all stay in touch. And if you guys have any future endeavors, we all better hear about it. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Hey, boys. Long-time listener, first-time caller. My name's Michael Lohman. I'm calling from Vancouver, British Columbia, home of your Vancouver Canadians. I just wanted to say congratulations on a long-lasting, running, fantastic podcast. Sad to see it go, but I understand why it's leaving. Wish you good luck in all of the future endeavors, and no doubt, I'm sure I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Hi, it's Amanda Schultz calling from Vancouver. I wanted to call and say congratulations on such an amazing run with Pucks on Net. I remember the first time I heard about this podcast was on Ryan and my first date. And as you can anticipate, it's kind of the classic nightmare to find out that this person you're on a date with hosts a podcast. But much to my surprise, it was so well produced when I listened that I couldn't help but think this might be very special. It was not cringe at all. Then the more I listened, the more I fell in love with Geeta as well. This podcast has brought so many people into my life that are so special to both of us. And then Arash joining a few years later. really, it's just amazing what you've all accomplished over the last 10, 11 years. It means a lot to both of us, to everybody, that there's so many people who really enjoy listening every day. And I don't know, find anybody else who would pay $9 a month to listen to their husband talk for an hour. But I love you all, and I'm really going to miss the podcast, and I'm so proud of all of the work that you've all done.
Hey, Pucks on Net. It's Ryan from Kelowna. 11 years. Wow. Can't believe you guys are leaving us. So many memories, so little time. I mean, I still can't forget the cake. I still think that was a colossal failure on Ryan's part, but he made good from what I've been told. We appreciate the advertising that you guys did on the show. You could buy a spot as a different podcast on your podcast. Thank you for making PP1 so popular for those 2 weeks. 11 years, so many shows, great guests, great laughter. The early years via Shaw, which helped get your name out on local WHL broadcasts, helping launch the PP1 podcast, and a friendship with all of you. You guys, you're going to be missed. It's going to be a different landscape without you, but good luck in all of your future endeavors, and we're going to miss you. I guess that means more listenership for PP1 podcast. So let's plug up those guys. No, but seriously, we're going to miss you guys. Geeta, Arash, Ryan, you guys have a wicked show. I look forward to it every week. Hopefully we see you all in the future. Good luck, and go Canucks go.
Hey guys, it's Yerky in Ottawa. For the last episode and all, I thought it was important that everybody know the truth about why the podcast is truly ending. So I hope you don't censor me. I hope you share these truths with all your listeners. Geeta, everyone should know, is actually an Edmonton Oilers fan. This was about to come out, so that was probably the final straw. After every podcast, I think she has a Reddit account that she goes on and kind of makes fun of what all of us Canucks fans are thinking. And so, there was that was going to be found out. So, that was that. Also, the whole Jason Spezza thing, it was kind of a front. It's actually Jarrett Soul she used to love. But yeah, I mean, neither here nor there. Arash, it turns out, is actually just an AI. We should have known that in hindsight because, COVID and we're all going virtual. And, obviously there was going to be a fallback onto some technology. And, Ryan goes, we met at a party. It was COVID. We weren't having parties. That should have been our first clue right there. So, that party was the settings of Ryan's iPhone. He's just one of the Siri voices. You can check. It's true. As for Ryan, turns out he's actually been doing this from prison the entire time. I'm surprised too. All the other inmates were complaining that he was always tying up the payphone every time that he would, on Monday nights, he'd sit there for hours and hours while they're all waiting in line to make their phone calls to their friends and loved ones. And Ryan was just dominating it for years, 11 years. I think he's set to be paroled in the next 2 or 3 though. So maybe he'll start a real podcast at that point. So there you have it, folks. That is why Pucks on Net is ending. I'm as surprised as you are. Kind of hurt really for only finding out the truth this way. Again, all seriousness, what a run, you guys. You're ceding the floor to the C4 podcast, I suppose, now, if they get to call themselves undisputedly the longest running Canucks podcast. But I mentioned when I published my Benning on Empty book, still available on blurb.com, by the way. In the epilogue, I sort of noted that, that we had this decade of darkness, but it was actually a time when there was a great flowering of creativity in the Canucks community. Podcasts aplenty and people online making content left and right, and you guys are, certainly one of the top examples of that. So thanks for being there with all of us who are suffering, especially through the Benning years, but, whatever suffering we're about to enter now, it's all kind of one long line of tragedy. So having your guys' familiar voices there was always a comfort, and it was great to discover you in that time. Have a good one.
Hi, this is Brian Campbell, not Stanley Cup champion, St. Paul, Minnesota. Just wanted to call and say thank you for, I think I found the podcast in 2016 when I moved to Salem from Portland and I had no friends. Mostly I was looking for something to counteract the Canucks Army message board and just how disgusting and toxic that place is. And having looked at it recently, it's still that way. And I would argue that a podcast like yours is needed now more than ever. Quick highlight, a few of my favorite things from the podcast over the last 9 years I've been listening. Number 5 orange recommendation. Thank you so much. That was a real highlight of my last trip to Vancouver. And I never would have gone had it not been for the degenerates on this podcast. Constantly doxing your co-hosts. I think that was really great. A good look on Ryan's part. Releasing the Big Hog t-shirt on International Women's Day. I think hands down, my favorite moment of the podcast by far. I think on a slightly more serious note, about 3 years ago, I had a little bit of a whoopsie and ended up in a treatment center for an alcohol use disorder, alcoholism, as it's maybe known. And it was, to say the least, a very, very, very awful time in my life. One of the many things that helped me kind of push through and get back onto a better path in my life was your podcast. And that's not just blowing smoke up your asses. It's true. It really kind of helped. As I was trying to stabilize my life, it helped normalize a lot of stuff kind of that was going on outside of where I was at. And just having that kind of constant light Canucks focused banter was really, really helpful. So thank you again for everything that you guys have done. Hot and Ready. Going back to a less serious note, Hot and Ready. What an amazing segment. That's number 1 with the bullet. And Geeta, I'm very happy that you found love and you have this beautiful family. I presume I haven't seen pictures of them, but they're beautiful. But the Hot and Ready segments were just unparalleled. Fantastic. 9 years together. I'm sorry we have to part like this. It's me. It's not you. And I love you.
Hey, thanks for coming out and making sure this isn't turned into condos. I got the right place, right?